And I've written in my notes here, Tekken is back, baby. That's how I felt at 2:30 in the morning. How did you feel, Binary, at whatever time you watched it?
Yeah, well, actually, I was driving home watching this in the car, and I don't remember how I got home, and I don't even know how I didn't crash the car either. I was actually quite surprised that they announced Tekken 7 on the Xbox stage at all. I did not know that was even coming. It looks good. New demons, new gameplay. Yeah, it does look good. I'll be interested to see the play styles on the controller. It looks like some customization is going to come to my Elite controller, I think.
You and your Elite controller.
Mm-hmm.
Are you wearing a Microsoft hat right now?
No, a hoodie. Microsoft hoodie.
You got Microsoft pajamas. What would Microsoft pajamas look like? Goodness me. Corporate blue. Yeah, I wrote here the trailer they made. It was all. I mean, they showed some gameplay at the end, but it looked pretty grainy. So I'm not sure if it's obviously it's very early days at the moment. So it's exciting to see, but we'll see how that fares. And they mentioned early 2017 for release. As was a lot. They showed us a lot, I think, Xbox. It reminds me a little bit of EA, but at least they had a bit more content here. They showed us a lot, but then a lot of this stuff is sort of, 2017, maybe holiday 2017. Candy cane crossbows.
It's all in line with the Xbox Slim, right? Because it's upgraded hardware.
That's a good point. Yeah, and they made that quite clear, didn't they? That all those the new Slim we've talked about already, and of course the existing, all sort of cross compatible. They're really trying to stress. Don't worry, bro. If you bought one last week, we're looking after you.
Yeah, they better be because I'm in a tough situation now.
Golden, I got a question for you.
That is.
Golden, do you like candy cane crossbows that shoot candy canes?
I don't know, man, but if you can make a candy cane go through the throat of a zombie like that, I am in.
The three things I wrote for this were candy cane crossbows, mobile zombie launchers, and electroshock go-karts.
Oh, I saw that. That was awesome. Yeah, he was running around with it. Yeah. Oh, that was great. Yeah.
If you haven't worked it out, we're talking about Dead Rising 4, which is due holiday 2016, so that's not far away. And I would, if I didn't have an Xbox, I'd be buying it for this. This is Dead Rising is back, definitely.
Hey, it's back with a bang.
And I presume with the capabilities of the next generation hardware that we have these days, we should see more and more zombies with more and more draw distance and good frame rates. Dead Rising 4 was there. Scalebound came up after it. Gordon, you looked a little bit excited about Scalebound. Of course, it's from Platinum Games. We know Platinum Games. Recently been working on what did they do recently? Oh, they did Transformers Devastation, and they did some of those games, and they used these big franchise names for small games in order to fund new exciting games like Scalebound. What were your impressions of it, Golden?
I liked it a lot. I liked the fact of the co-op. You could do, 3 other friends, and then you could take on this huge beast, and then, the fact that it was aerial, it was a vertical battle, and the lore looked good. I think it does need some work. I think that it has the potential to be a really good game. The guy puts on his headphones and then starts, fighting, which is kind of corny, but whatever. Again, you're fighting on the back of a dragon. You've got this big ass sword. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Whether or not the mechanics hold true and whether or not the story's there is a totally different story.
Did it excite you, Binary?
Yeah, it did actually. I was genuinely excited. I was getting in and out of the car while it was on actually, but yeah, the gameplay footage looks good. The narrative looks good. I'm definitely going to be purchasing all pre-orders.
Jeez, look at him.
Nice.
Boss fight.
All right.
Yeah, it's sold. Boss Fight City is what I wrote. I mean, I just every cutscene, every shot from the trailer was just another boss. It just felt like boss scene after boss scene after boss scene. So, obviously that's the intent of the game, being dragons and whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty exciting to see. Speaking of seeing, Sea of Thieves What's that?
It's got dragons. I said
it's got dragons.
What can
right.
it not be cool about having a dragon?
Yeah, it's exactly the same
fire?
reason why I can't wait to get to the Sony stuff when we talk about Horizon. Like, it's just childhood fantasy. But Sea of Thieves from Rare, we've been seeing that Sea of Thieves game, I think, for the last I think we saw it about 18 months ago first. It was pretty new to the scene, but Rare's been working hard at this pirate game. Binary, you showed a little bit of interest in this Sea of Thieves.
I'm always a pirate fan. I like my pirate. That's probably why I enjoyed Assassin's Creed Black Flag so much. It looks like a fun game. I've got a beautiful little girl that likes to play games, and I think this is probably a good one. Her and I will be able to play together. So, it's just another family-friendly Xbox game.
I'm hoping it's got some depth to it so that we can get into it. But I think, if you were walking by, you might think it's a little bit of a kiddish game, but some of the environments they're showing off.
Well, it did have some complexity too, didn't it? Where you need a team you need to have a couple of people just to pilot or captain one of these ships, which was cool. It looked good. It's like definitely some team play going on.
Yeah, team play is a thing, and Golden, you've been you certainly haven't been shy when you talked about co-op over our podcast for the E3 coverage, and I think State of Decay 2 might be something for everyone. I wrote here Left 4 Dead 3, but a more roaming version. That doesn't really make sense, but I think you get the idea. It's sort of third-person, team-based zombie hunting. I mean, did you guys take a look at that? Was it interesting to you? Is it going to be a buy for you, do you think, at the moment?
Yeah, team-based survival. Zombies, open world. Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. It does look like a lot of fun. And a drastic improvement from the first one.
Yeah, I never played.
It's slightly Dying Light-esque, right? Mm-hmm. Open world zombies, but this one definitely more about survival, resource gathering, building up your home base type thing. So
I never played it. The first one, it was remastered, wasn't it? They've got a remastered edition, I think, to try out. I might give that a go because I've heard good things. But anyway, State of Decay 2. I didn't get a release for that, so we'll see how that pans out. But some of these do, some of these don't. One that does, though, is something epic, is Halo Wars 2, which has a release date of February 21st, 2017. They dubbed it the Action RTS in this case, which makes sense. It's not a typical PC game. But one awesome thing they've announced is a week-long beta. And that's starting right now. So it's running from June 13 to June 20. So if you haven't jumped on already, jump on Xbox Live and grab the beta for Halo Wars 2. And this is probably one of their Byron and I were talking earlier this morning about the Xbox One and Windows 10 exclusive, and I think that's one of certainly one of the flagship titles that they're touting. I don't know how that's going to work because someone with a mouse running an RTS versus someone with a console running an RTS,
you're going to get beat every single time, man.
And I noticed that with a few shooters they're releasing, aren't they? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I used to say that about about controllers back in the day, but we've really sort of become so accustomed to console controllers that you can be reasonably competitive with them. But with RTS, it certainly has its origins with mouse input. But anyway, we'll see how that fans out. The trailer was epic as always, but it's Halo. Halo's going to be. It's usually Blur that does their, I think, cinematics, so it's always going to look awesome. It's hard to judge off what we saw, but. One thing we did see for certain, and I think a really nice way to wrap up Microsoft's robust lineup, I think, for their conference, was Project Scorpio, which I think we had an idea that something might be coming, but we kind of thought that would come from PlayStation more, and they went a little bit quiet on, well, they've got their VR, but they went a little bit quiet, and Microsoft came out with this thing, and I didn't even know what it was at first. Golden, you said Scorpio was your thing when you saw it, right? You wrote on our message boards, dude, this is Microsoft nailed it. What was your excitement behind this?
Well, the fact that they came out with so much power, so much, they came out swinging, and it's not just the power, and it's not, what is it, the 4 teraflops or something, which is teraflops.
6 teraflops.
Which
that's
is
2 more teraflops.
Just oh man, that's just that's great. That's awesome. And I think that them about to start running VR, and I think, are they hooking up with Oculus, I think? So, with Oculus coming in, I mean, they have a chance really to be able to power that VR to do some really, really cool things. And the fact that they added the clubs, the arena play, the music, the cross-play, and, of course, the LFG, I mean, you're looking at a hell of a console. And, that would rival, I think, some PCs. And I think that's what we're looking for right now, and I think that's what people want. They're sick of hearing, why don't you just get a PC if you want to do it, but, people are like, no, I want to, this is the console that could probably rival some PCs, man, and I think it's awesome. And you said something earlier about, too little, too late. I think on some things, yeah, but I think for me, I think this could be, I think they could step up as a major, I mean, they already are, but I'm saying, it's always PS4 and, how they did all this, but I think this, if they're going to do it, this is the one.
Yeah, Binary, you saw Scorpio?
I completely agree with Golden here. So in the last few months, they've constantly, even executives have been saying that they're not looking at releasing a VR platform. Well, drop mic, you bunch of liars. They clearly were. This must have been kept in some hidden hellhole right underneath Microsoft Studios, because there was not a leak anywhere. Oh my God. Yeah, if 2017 is going to be an interesting year for the Microsoft platform. They are, I think that's probably why even PS4 didn't even announce 4.5. Right, because that was what everyone was expecting. 6 teraflops. That's the new GTX 1080, right? That's the same level of graphics power that it's going to be pushing out. So that's a direct comparison. So 12 months time, you're going to be having PC level graphics power in a console and running VR. So you can't say much more than that, really. I'll be in. One thing, I just can't wait for more news to come out. I really can't. I'm just thinking Fallout 4 in VR on Project Scorpio. I'm clucking in the corner.
He's been talking about that since like a couple days now. That's all we've heard is Fallout VR. And I think you're right, man. I think that's awesome.
It's gonna be something, man. But I think, as we said, we didn't expect. I mean, I didn't expect Scorpio. I expected an Oculus announcement. And if you think, I mean, Golden, you mentioned it before, but we didn't actually really get. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we got an official Oculus announcement. We just got, John Carmack, legendary John Carmack. That's all. Genius. Just come out on stage and play Minecraft. I felt a bit contrasting, like essentially a rocket scientist game programmer, an engine builder, playing Minecraft on a stage. But, he was playing that with Oculus, but that was the reference. It was nothing else was brought up about Oculus Rift or, any other virtual reality. And I don't even think did they use the terms VR in the Scorpio announcement, Binary? Did you remember that?
There was a couple of mentions of it. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, but they didn't say Oculus, right? They just said VR.
No.
Yeah,
I didn't hear Oculus
they just
either.
said VR.
Yeah, I heard lots of 4K gaming, but there you go. So it looks like there's obviously going to be VR there. I wonder if that's going to be the next move then to consolidate with Oculus. Look, I think that was the bulk of that was the bulk of the Microsoft conference. We've kind of summarized some of our feelings and our thoughts on the day. There's a lot there, and you can see a 34-minute podcast on it is evidence, so we do have to cut it there, guys, I think. But is there any closing thoughts on the day, how you think it went for Microsoft, how you think they fared, and what's to come in 2017, 2016?
Okay. I personally think that I did not expect this, so maybe I'm kind of a little biased here, but they came in and they basically were like, hey, we're not messing around. We're bringing some stuff. We're going to bring some real hardware. We're going to bring some real games, and we're going to really let people be interactive, or players interactive with each other, and we're going to kind of pull up all the bars that's been holding everyone back. And you know what? I don't have an Xbox right now, and I'm a huge PS4 guy, but after this conference, it's really making me second guess the next console I buy.
Yeah, I completely agree, Gold. Well, actually, I agree because I am an Xbox player, but Microsoft put on one hell of a show. It was, the whole presentation of it, the pace of the show, it was just non-stop. And the technology announcements, I think we're halfway through E3 now, and I think that's the show that everyone's going to remember.
Yeah, no, we saw hardware from both companies. We saw awesome software, but in particular, Sony pulled out some amazing software. I'm really actually excited to talk about some of these things. Some are coming in 16, some are coming in 17, but you know what? We can't do that until the next recording, which is coming up very shortly, for the remainder of course, E3 Day 2, when we get to the awesomeness that was the Sony presentation and the strength of VR. More on that next.